URock. That's right. When we used to be, we were in Rockland originally many years ago, and then we were out in Thomaston. Then we came back to Rockland, and when we did that, I think that might be like 8 or 9 years ago we came back. The student association, the students voted on the nickname of URock, and it has played well. It's a good brand, and students like it. So we have lots of T-shirts and material and swag that says URock on it. I would say we make college accessible. So faculty will come in teaching a class, and they'll see, okay, our students are this kind of hodgepodge of ages specifically. I mean, so we've got the traditional 18 to 22-year-olds, and some younger than that that are doing the high school aspirations. So that's some of our population, about a third. And then we have 2/3 that are adults, plus 22 up to mid-60s that are pursuing college and doing it for lots of reasons, including career changes, and the body's wearing out from fishing, and now I've got to find a job that pays the bills, and how do I do that? How do I engineer that? And so that's what we do. We make it accessible. So there's one moment when I got into this business, and it happened quite recently, and I got an email from a student that had lovely pictures of her student teaching, and she had all these kids that she was getting ready to leave, and they're very sad about her moving on to her next assignment in her student teaching. And she had a really amazing path. She'd started out at a very expensive private liberal arts college out of state, and then had gone to a residential college in state, and then had figured out that she could do the same thing here, and she could get the same certification. And she's an amazing student, and we got to be helpful. That's my job. While people are doing their big life work, I get to try to be helpful, and we were able to be helpful for her, and that was really rich. Well, there are two things. So University College at Rockland is the distance satellite for the University of Maine system, and so our students are all associated with one of the University of Maine universities. So 4 of those universities have a new scholarship, and it is for Pell Grant eligible students. It just was announced, so we don't have all of the rules around it, but for those who are starting in the fall, transfer students in the spring semester, if people are Pell Grant eligible, those universities are committed to adding to that scholarship to take them full time. And so that will cover all of their courses, so that there won't be any gap that they'll have to take loans for. Books are still on their own, but everything else is going to be covered. And so that's a really exciting scholarship. Just a brand new thing that came recently was University of Maine and University of Southern Maine are announcing that their engineering programs are going to what's called a 1+3 program. So they can start out at any university for that first year, and then transfer up for the 3 years at either USM or to UMaine for the additional 3 years. And that's very exciting, because we haven't been able to offer kind of an engineering start for folks in the past, and we're excited to see how the rules come out, how the course guides come out. I'm excited to make sure I'm putting students in the right classes and all of that, but that was an exciting new offering. I mean, there's not a perfect college, so there's a lot of factors that really matter for students. They really have to get the right fit for what they're looking for. Students are far more price sensitive than they used to be. In my day, the return on investment, the advice was, whatever it costs, go, because you'll make it back. And I think in the last 15 years, we've certainly realized that, walking out of school with $50,000 in debt, being prepared for a job that pays $20,000 a year is probably not a good strategy. And so the fit on money, it does matter in the decision making, but I think the advice I would say is looking for the opportunity for really engaging in your classes. Can you really have that rich experience inside of your class? And that's what I'd be looking for. And that's really hard to tell, unfortunately, because it's hard to, I tell everyone I know, meet with faculty, talk with faculty, get a sense of who they are, because that's where you're going to spend a lot of your time is with faculty.